Bernie Sanders, who this is his only legacy now. So CJ, in 20 years, do you think people are going to be like, man, Bernie Sanders, remember how he got the conversation about Medicare for all started?
Nope.
Remember how he advocated for forgiving student loan debt? No, nigga, in 20 years, the only thing they're going to be talking about, like, nigga, Bernie Sanders, you know the genocide enabler, the butcher of Palestinians? That entire 5 years, the 6 years that progressive, like fucking dream that we lived through, from 2015 to 2021, that's nothing in the barrels of history, fam. Those 6 years is gonna be nothing. The only thing people are gonna remember Bernie Sanders for is this. People don't. Do you guys think people remember people who lose presidential elections?
Nope.
No,
not for long.
They do remember people who support genocide, though. They remember that. So here's Bernie Sanders, who refuses to call for a permanent ceasefire in Gaza. And now listen to him repeat the same logic you will hear from Mike Pompeo, Anthony Blinken, Lloyd Austin, Donald Trump, and the worst warmongers in the world.
In terms of a permanent ceasefire, I don't know how you could have a permanent ceasefire with Hamas, who has said before October 7th and after October 7th that they want to destroy Israel. They want a permanent war. I don't know how you have a permanent ceasefire with an attitude like that.
So Bernie Sanders is the enemy of decolonization. So Bernie, how many dead Palestinians will you be okay with in order to get rid of Hamas? Right now, Israel got a good 1 out of 1,000 rate. For every one Hamas agent killed, they killed 1,000 civilians. So how many you want dead? I mean, we're around 20,000 dead right now. 60,000, Bernie? Do you want 60,000 dead Palestinians? How about 100,000? Hell, let's raise it 200,000. Fuck it. Hamas is evil, right? Let's fucking kill everybody, right? That what you saying, Bernie? Do you guys understand what Bernie is saying, which is essentially the same position as Mike Pompeo, Dick Cheney, is as unhinged as it gets? This is the most extreme political ideology in the world. Everyone in Gaza must die because of Hamas. That is what Bernie Sanders is saying. And you want to know what, in a rational society, what will be the end of Bernie Sanders' career? This is it. This is what Bernie Sanders will forever be known for, CJ in Rome. AIPAC gave him a shout out. Damn.
Good Lord.
If AIPAC ever gives RBN a shout out, I'm deleting our account.
I'm gonna wake up and be, hey, Nick, I tried to put a video up. What's going on? Oh, fucking take that shit. AIPAC gave us a shout out.
It's over, nigga. I fucked up. I did a segment. They liked it. They tweeted it out. Sorry, you guys got your own channels now. Like, you gotta do your own thing. RBN is done. Like, we out of here. And they did, I'm talking seriously, not ironically. I'm talking seriously. Thank you, RBN, for covering it. Nigga, it'll be over. It'll be over. I pull the plug on RBN. I retire. I'll go back to selling cards. But that's what they did, Bernie. But here's AIPAC. Thank you, Bernie Sanders, for your strong opposition to a permanent ceasefire with the Hamas. And I'm going to be honest, fam. I do think there's a part of AIPAC that's fucking with Bernie Sanders with this shit.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Because they know he's going to get the backlash. They know he's going to get the backlash from his people. I think it's that more than him using them. I think it's that more than anything else, because they know the people progress. Who hates AIPAC the most besides radicals is the progressives. They hate them because this is the group that goes after them. This is the top group that goes after them is AIPAC. So you know them shouting them out is making them feel some type of way.
The thing is, AIPAC know what they're doing, but Bernie should never walk into this. Sorry, Ron, do you want to tell me real quick? Go ahead, Ron. No, I think it's all funny, but I love that the world is seeing these people for how we've been seeing them for the last couple of years. You know, I guess it takes longer than others, but hey, glad to see you here. Next time, pay the fuck attention, because when a nigga say, hey, something ain't right about these people, you're like, no, you're wrong. Dude, these are politicians. Something is wrong with these motherfuckers. For one, they're politicians, so something gotta be wrong with them. So for two, dog, come on, man. We know Bernie, only war Bernie was ever against was the war in Afghanistan, I believe. Every other war he was all for it. Libya, all of it.
So this is nothing new with Bernie.
My bad, Ron, but bro, people are never going to forgive us for being right about Bernie early. There are people in the professional managerial class, people in the Bernie Sanders cult that is now absolutely fucking done with him after this. And they're 100% saying fuck Bernie Sanders. But I explained to you guys the hard divorce I had with the Bernie community many times on the show. I went through a hard divorce. The same people who have Jimmy Dore derangement syndrome, they make up 1,000 reasons on why they hate Jimmy Dore. Oh, Jimmy Dore disagrees with me on health policy. Like, guys, anyone who tells you they hate Jimmy Dore because of the vaccines is fucking lying to you. No one cares that much. What people did is they hated Jimmy Dore for going against Bernie. He criticized Bernie AOC, and then they worked backward from the conclusion. Let's find something to attack Jimmy Dore for. They did the same thing to me. I know that because they did the same thing to me. The same people who hated Jimmy because of this hated me. All of a sudden, all of a sudden, the same people who loved me, who retweet all my shit, who loved my content, all of a sudden they hated me because I called Bernie Sanders out for the fraud that he is. And now those same people are willing to acknowledge that Bernie Sanders sold us out on a massive level. And for the sake of being nice, I am calling no one out who I'm showing you here. None of the tweets of the people I'm showing you here are the people I'm calling you out. I'm just showing you guys the general vibe right now. And they are getting thousands of likes for saying stuff that we said from the beginning of RBN.
Shit that we got canceled for. I got canceled. It was thousands of people in my head when I said, look, man, we just might be better under Trump. At least y'all niggas will pay attention. Oh my God, you said they reported my page, report this. Nigga, I woke up with like 100 reports. Like, what the fuck? Like, damn, they really trying to take me down. Yeah. But now you get to say the same shit. Oh, wow. I wonder what did it for you? What did it for you, right? That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just read a few reactions and I'll pass it to CJ because if you have anything you want to add, and I'll pass to your next segment. They're not a long segment. I want to do these back to back because this relates to the ceasefire. This Bernie strongly supporting Biden. I'll just read a few reactions, and once again, these are not people I'm individually calling out. I'm just saying that the mainstream opinion on Twitter /X/social media has did a complete 180, and I am kind of salty. I'll be honest with you guys. To show you guys I got human flaws too. I am kind of salty that we would never get credit for this. You know what I mean? Yeah. The same people that calling out Bernie now, they don't follow me. They will never support me because they're like, oh, niggas just said shit for likes. Niggas is going after Bernie and progressive for likes. I still remember the wave of criticism I used to get. Mm-hmm. Now people tweeting the shit out like it's fucking Tuesday. You know what I mean? Now let me read some of these tweets. Apparently, you either die a hero or watch yourself become an APAC tool, wondering how anyone could possibly stop the mass slaughter of civilians. Bernie Sanders has turned into the biggest political disappointment in my lifetime. What a way to ruin half a century of decency and integrity. I would say that happened during the Ukraine war. So once again, I'm not attacking these people because they reached the right conclusion. But you guys see how they still had that Bernie worship in them. They wanted to like this motherfucker, but they can't now. I love these tweets. This is amazing. Once again, not attacking these people. Here's another one who I strongly agree with, and the number of likes that this got is shocking. 26,000 likes for this, CJ, where this guy says, I am embarrassed for ever having allied myself with Bernie in his campaign. I am ashamed. Fam, rewind 12 months ago. Rewind 12 months ago. Remember the question I asked Marianne Williamson about Bernie? Where I said, wasn't it a waste of our fucking time? I asked everyone this. Like, wasn't it a waste of our fucking time? Wasn't it a waste of $200, $300, $400 million to support Bernie? And Marianne Williamson's answer to that was, oh, man, if you feel the way you do about Bernie, don't vote for me. Like, there people always say, oh, man, you kind of harsh on Bernie. Dr. Cornel West said, man, I don't agree with what you're saying about Bernie. I don't agree with what you're saying. Like, I don't agree. I'm like, bro, I was going the hardest. I'll give Jimmy credit as well. I'll give Misty. I get the Convo Couch credit because it probably us in Rome in RBN. Everyone, we was going the hardest on Bernie. And now, when I said that the left should have never engaged in the Bernie campaign, I used to get pushback. People say, well, at least we raised awareness because apparently raising awareness on the issue we're never going to get is worth $400 million.
You raising awareness on shit people already want. Majority of Americans already want better healthcare, better education, this and that. You ain't got to go through you ain't got to take them through no political courses for them to want that shit. Just go and ask a random nigga on the street, what do you want? And I guarantee you're going to say housing, healthcare, better schooling, a better neighborhood, whatever it may be. Raising awareness bullshit. Y'all was fundraising, building careers off of our turmoil. That's exactly what they was doing. And that's why these motherfuckers mad now. All these fucking fake ass leftists, all these Bernie Sanders leftists, these NATO leftists, they mad because they can't make no more, they can't make no more money off of that Bernie shit. Now everybody changing their name. Everybody been holding on to that Bernie name for as long as they could. And now everybody changing their motherfucking name. Everybody changing their whole identity because there ain't no more money to be made. And it is. I'm sorry, it is money to be made. But are you willing to sell your soul for that shit? Are you willing to go out, AIPAC? Are you willing to do what these motherfuckers doing, Richie Torres, all that bullshit? Right. All right, then. We'll see that. We're going to really see who you, for what you really are. A fucking sellout, a mouthpiece. That's all these people were. Making money off of us. All of them.
So this is low key.
Oh, go ahead.
And I'll pass right to you, CJ. But on that point, before I move on, I said many times before, I don't regret, like, because I knocked on 1,000 doors. I was on the Bernie campaign. I sacrificed so much of my time. I talked to many people. I say in general, I don't regret that because I helped spread socialist ideals to my community. I helped raise awareness on issues. But that is absolutely not worth $400 million. So why I say I don't regret what I did on the Bernie campaign, you have to understand, I could have did the same exact thing as I did on the Bernie campaign, but under the guise of spreading mutual aid. You know what I mean? I say and I still don't, to this day, don't regret what I did in South Carolina because I radicalized so many of my brothers and sisters talking to them. But I do regret being part of the Bernie campaign because I could have did that without the Bernie campaign. You know what I mean?
Bernie do nothing but put you a ceiling. He do nothing but put a ceiling over you. Because when I'm out there, I'm talking to people and they bringing up shit I didn't even know that Bernie did, like support wars that I didn't even know that he supported. Right? So I'm out there. I'm like, oh shit, I got a freestyle off the top. I'm coming. He put a ceiling over you. Now we can just do it how we want. We can say and do what the fuck we want. Lead, as a communist, a socialist, however the fuck, you ain't got that fucking roof over your head or that ceiling over your head now that you're not under the Bernie camp. And back to these fucking cowards. Because I find it funny how this is the deal breaker, bro. This is the deal breaker, right? But it's only a deal breaker because Oz is on it. If people wasn't locked in, they would try to skate by with this shit. They would try their best to skate by and still keep that Bernie industrial complex, that grift going. I'm telling you, just like one of our commenters just said, they would have tried their best to keep that motherfucking grift going because ain't no way you can see the progressive caucus sell the fuck out. Sell us out time after time. And just like, well, that it's okay because these are the best that we got. Motherfucker, if this is the best that you got, you need to do something. Y'all need to find somebody better. And we keep constantly calling them out, but y'all are the ones pushing back for the politicians. Y'all are stepping in the ring for politicians, pushing back on us when we were right the whole fucking time. So how the fuck is this the deal breaker? This is the deal breaker, but it wasn't a deal breaker when they was giving our money to the CIA agents.
In Ukraine, it wasn't either.
It wasn't in Ukraine. It wasn't none of that shit. But this, no, it's only a deal breaker because people ain't having that shit. You a fucking coward, and you made a career off of this shit. All these motherfuckers made a career off of this shit. You a fucking coward. You made your whole name up under Bernie, and you can't use it anymore. What do you stand for? Not what Bernie believe in. What do you believe in now? What do you stand for now? Right? Let's hear your own thoughts. You have none because you are a Bernie puppet.
Look at this. Look at this, Roman CJ. Once again, I am not picking on these people because I'm glad they're reaching the right conclusion.
I'm picking on their ass. Fuck them niggas.
Yeah, Rome can do that. I'll let Rome do it. But look at this. I still cannot believe that Bernie Sanders has, in 2 months, completely destroyed his legacy. 2 months, sir. You guys notice how Bernie just now crossed the line with these people? So I would say Bernie had completely destroyed his legacy for at least, and this is me being generous, at least over a year now.
Man.
Because Bernie ruined his legacy the second they started he supported the Ukraine war. You gotta notice how that doesn't even calculate for these people. And if I was gonna be radical, what I truly believe, I believe that Bernie truly ruined his legacy the second they dropped out Super Tuesday and supported Joe Biden.
Yeah,
so Bernie,
that's where I was gonna go.
Yeah, I swear, because I made I'm like, what democracy? We need to vote for Joe Biden to save democracy. Like, nigga, shut the fuck up, man.
So this tweet, and once again, not pick on this guy, not me personally. This guy got 77,000 likes, and there are a ton of Bernie people in here like, oh my God, I can't believe Bernie is doing it. Oh my God. They just now view Bernie Sanders as unacceptable for the last 2 months, CJ. The Ukraine shit, don't give a fuck. You know how many segments we did just playing what Bernie said, where Bernie is being a Biden apologist, and we like, bro, this is unbelievable. Bernie has no shame. As Bernie is doing all this Democrat sellout shit, they like, nigga, this nigga Bernie is dope. I still fuck with Bernie. I still like Bernie. I don't give a fuck if he's
gonna be all right.
And then Israel happened. Now they all canceling them. Bless their heart. Bless their heart. They finally found the red line. You know the kind of stuff that we've been talking about for a long time, supporting the empire, for example. In the Bernie industrial complex, the people who are attacking Bernie now, CJ, the people who are attacking Bernie now, but they didn't cover his Ukraine segments. How many segments have we done, CJ, where we cover what Bernie says about Ukraine, and we like, this guy is a fucking clown. And then David Figueredo and the NATO left, they wouldn't cover those stories. Now they're covering this, though. Isn't that interesting? But anyway, so I'll wrap this up because I want to save some time for the Alex Jones story. Let me wrap this up, and then I'll pass to you because I can stay for the last segment for the Alex Jones segment.
Yeah, for sure.
I know a little bit long, but I have back segments here. So I'll just read a few more receipts. Almost done. Low-key says, AIPAC thanks to arm industry-funded socialist Bernie Sanders for green lighting Israel's genocidal war on Gaza. So you got to see how when Bernie got shot out by AIPAC, that were everyone, like all the big people calling out Bernie right now. So now Bernie seeing this, decided to do damage control. Oh, you desperate motherfucker. So this is what Bernie tweets. I don't know if you saw this, CJ.
What?
So then Bernie tweets this out because he realized that his career as a progressive was just ended the second that AIPAC tweeted positive words about him. Even people who are far from the right from RBN. People who are far from right. For the sake of time, I'll show you guys only a few. If you search Bernie, I told you this morning, CJ. If you search Bernie on Twitter, you will see a wave of hate against Bernie, the likes I have never seen before. So because of that, now Bernie tweets this out. And if you check the time, this was around 3 hours after AIPAC praises Bernie. So AIPAC praises Bernie. If y'all know, I remember 10 times slot. AIPAC praises Bernie Sanders. 3 hours later, Bernie tweets this. Bernie got a tweet from Stafford. Nigga, Bernie, we got an emergency, nigga. We got an emergency. We got prayed by AIPAC. Nigga, we on DEFCON blue. Anyway, so because of that, Bernie didn't send this desperate tweet out. AIPAC is a right-wing organization that supports extremist Republicans and election denier candidates. Now they want to spend $100 million to defeat progressives. Whether AIPAC likes it or not, the U.S. must not give it a blank check to Netanyahu's horrific war policies. Nah, fam.
Bro, you just said. Hold on. What is it? Which one is it, bro? Is it no to a ceasefire, to a permanent ceasefire, or is it no money to the war?
Bro,
I don't get it.
You see what the white moderate does? This is a lesson in white moderate. You see what the white moderate, this is Bernie Sanders. He's pretending to be down for the Palestinians by simply look where the threshold is of being considered an advocate for Palestinians. Just saying something, you're considering it. It's similar to just putting BLM in your profile, and then people think they're, Malcolm X adjacent. It's a very like low threshold, but then the bar to be a genocidal maniac is high, I guess, for Bernie. But this is the problem with being a white moderate, is that you're playing both sides means you're going to get the ire from both sides too. So AIPAC hates him and loves him at the same time, apparently, and then you get an ire from the left, which to me, the left is who's going to hold his legacy. The left is who's going to be the ones who pass down his legacy, because the right is not going to be that. And what we're going to pass down is that you're a genocidal maniac who only gave lip service. That's what it is. But go ahead.
That's why I say this is high key 3D chess move by AIPAC. Because remember, AIPAC is a fascist organization that wants no dissent whatsoever. You can say 1,000 good things about Israel. You can vote 1,000 good ways about Israel. But if you ever dissent about anything, even rhetorically on Israel, they will hate you. That's the relationship that AIPAC has with Bernie Sanders. AIPAC remember when Bernie Sanders pretended to care about Palestinians. Mm-hmm. So AIPAC is like, bro, you know what would be funny, bro? If we freeze Bernie and get his people to turn against him, knowing that our people already don't like him. Dude, that's a fucking great.
It's basically said, hey, we could never put up enough money. We could never put up enough money to get you out, but we can is fuck your legacy up with your people. Mm-hmm. And that's what they're doing. And I'm all for it. He deserves it. He deserves it.
Yeah, doesn't that show the incoherent strategy of social democrats, though? That show how they got bit in the ass. Because now let's analyze this tweet here from Bernie. And isn't it interesting that social democrats and NATO leftists can't put these two together? Very basic common sense I'm going to put together. You see, Bernie Sanders says AIPAC is a right-wing organization. Me personally, if I was aligning on very important policy issues with a quote-unquote right-wing organization, that would give me pause. If I was aligning consistently with Mike Pompeo on foreign policy, wouldn't that give you pause? So Bernie Sanders, you claim that AIPAC is a right-wing organization, but if they're a right-wing organization, why are you so willing to help their geopolitical agenda?
They're thanking you for a reason. Because they are not, like you said, they are not shy on their hate for Bernie Sanders or any progressive. They are open with it. So they're thanking you for a reason, man. You playing the games.
Like, why is it right wing? Because I mean, it's almost like, is he critique? Is like, does he know what he's saying? You're saying that AIPAC is all of this, but the organization that you just described is shouting you out as a good person in lockstep for what they want to do. The right wing stuff that you're pointing out, Bernie Sanders. You see how he doesn't see it either. He sees it. And he understands that the vast majority of cowbell left that follow him is not going to get this high-level chess game that he's playing on them.
Yeah. So do you guys remember the Red Brown Alliance conspiracy theory that RBN? Well, again, we was the only one, the first people to come out to debunk it. There was a bunch of morons, socialists, and communists on Twitter. And Rome, you know what I'm talking about. There are a bunch of dumbasses who pretend to be socialists and communists on Twitter who was being useful idiots repeating bullshit about the Red Brown Alliance. As I accurately point out that it was a psyop designed by liberals to advocate against class unity. So they would say, oh, you working with a conservative on healthcare, you forming a Red Brown Alliance. It's something that is completely made up. That is a social democrat fantasy because they want to tie communism to right-wing extremism. It's a social democratic op, which everyone in DSA fell for. You had the dumbest people on Twitter with these socialists and communists that was like, oh, I read theory. The Red Brown Alliance is real. You got to make sure there's no Red Brown Alliance. And I was like, dude, that's bullshit. The real Red Brown Alliance is Bernie Sanders and social democrats. The real Red Brown Alliance are the social democrats who constantly team up with fascists. The Red Brown Alliance was always the progressives that set Palestine. So remember what I tell you guys? These people are masters of projection. As they was smearing RBN, as they was smearing Jimmy Dore, as they was smearing Combo Couch, as they was smearing all these people as part of the Red Brown Alliance. The real Red Brown Alliance was the social democrats and Bernie Sanders the entire time. Isn't that funny? But anyway, my last receipt, I'll move on. There was a long statement, but there was a lot of cover. Go ahead, Ron. You want to try me real quick?
No. I'm just agreeing.
This is my last scene. I passed CCJ. I stay a little bit longer just so I stay for your last segment.
Yeah, no worries.
This is Norman Finkelstein. Norman Finkelstein dropped the greatest diss track that I've seen in politics since I started in this goddamn game. Yeah, no, if you want to plot these diss tracks, bro. The diss track that fucking Norman Finkelstein put on Bernie Sanders is a legendary. Now, I don't know what the view count is now, but I remember when I saw it, it was like 9 hours in. It had like 90,000 views, bro. Because it was Norman Finkelstein just roasting this motherfucker after selling out to the Israel lobby. So I couldn't do a reaction video of it because the video was like 90 minutes. Like, there's no way we can really do it. I've not do segment because it would have been too long. We would have missed too much, not really worth it. And plus, it's just better for you to just watch the diss track. Like, if you have time, go to Norman Finkelstein YouTube page. He released the best diss track of all time. I'm going to play a little bit of it. The Squirrel on Twitter shares how Norman Finkelstein, well, he pretty much, they share a verse from this legendary diss track. This is Hit 'Em Up all over again. This is Norman Finkelstein telling Bernie he about to hit him up real quick.
Right at the despicable thing you said in the interview today, whether it was moral idiocy, whether it was exemplary of being a moral monster.
So that was the quote that got everyone talking on this video, where Norman Finkelstein called Bernie Sanders a moral monster. And I see one of the comments. Let me see if I can highlight it so I give you credit. Where Kinky explains how Norm used to be a Bernie bro. Yeah, he was a big Bernie supporter, and now because of that, he going so hard on Bernie bro. He's like, I cannot. He like shocked that Bernie is doing this, so he's going so hard. But let's continue.
And I think, I think you know how you say you're seeing a bunch of Bernie people turn on him. He's the person that's giving them the green light. Is this guy Norm? He's the one who's giving them the green light. Okay, guys, if I can do it, if Norm's doing it, because now they can lean on him as a source. Otherwise, Bernie was their top source when they had a source. Yeah, hey, no, Bernie said this, and it was like, oh, Bernie said it. Now it's like this guy supersedes Bernie. Norm said Bernie is bullshit. Yeah. Now everybody, oh, Norm said that's that great shit. Point. Okay, and that's really
CJ. That's a great point. That's a great point because Norm snapped all these motherfuckers last year during Ukraine. Because Norman Finkelstein, he never was a Squad or Bernie apologist, but as someone who followed Norm, he always was like above it. You know what I mean? Like his position always was like, I'm above it all. Like it's not worth my time to talk about force to vote. You know what I mean? Not worth my time to talk about the Squad and Bernie not being the people we thought they was. He always put him like Aaron Mate was another person. Like I remember when Aaron Mate, he used to be on the Jimmy Dore show. He's like, I'm not willing to call Bernie a sellout yet. Like I remember he used to say that stuff. Now Aaron Mate on his Twitter page like, fuck the squad, fuck Bernie, fuck the Squad, nigga. They all sell out. Like seeing Aaron Mate evolve on that has been hilarious over the last few years. Norman the same way. He used to be someone who used to never comment on like left infighting, progressive criticism. But what the Squad and Bernie has done ever since the start of the Ukraine war, he's been a vocal critic, right? But anyway, let's continue this, and I'll pass you, CJ. That's pretty much. I had a lot of coverage today, but that'd be my statement for the day. I have another one on the anti-Semitism, but we're gonna do maybe 3 niggas CJs.
I already know because that was a segment I wanted to do. We got to do that because that's what's prevalent too. So we'll get to that probably tomorrow.
Because I can always add more receipts, guys. Because I'm gonna do it. I'll probably do a preview at the end because now they're just saying it where they like fuck free speech for Zionism, right. But I do preview later. I don't want to spend too much time. Let's finish this video.
Of being a moral monster, or whether it was cynical opportunism, because you're too much of a coward to break ranks with President Biden. I don't know which it is. When you oppose a ceasefire at this point, you are in effect and in fact, you are in effect and in fact giving Israel carte blanche to do whatever they want. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. And if they want to do it, they will do it. to continue to indiscriminately target the civilian infrastructure and the civilian population of Gaza, 1 million of whom, or 1,100,000 of whom, are children. You have become a moral monster.
So that's Norman. Once again, CJ, way you play is great. I could show you guys more reactions, and this segment could have been way longer, just showing you the amount of people who are now reaching the RBN position on Bernie Sanders that he's a sellout. Because a lot of people, their channel, they picked a theme under the Bernie wave. They are Bernie channels, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They rose during the height of the Bernie campaign. RBN, we are post Bernie Sanders. Mm-hmm. We are the left that we didn't rise through the Bernie campaign. We rose to try and find solutions after Bernie. Like, what do we do post Bernie? What should the left look at post Bernie? So we are the post Bernie left, and the people who wanted to cling on to the Bernie industrial complex, that shit is done. Like that short rise that they had. That's why you notice the people who their claim to fame was attached themselves to Bernie. You notice that they are just Democrats now. Like I'm talking about like the David Pacmans, the David Figueiredos, the Mike Figueiredos and all those people who used to be Bernie bros, they are just now standard Democrats. We talking about the everyday normie. You know, Trump, he denied January 6th. You know, Trump got this trial. You hear about Ketanji Brown Jackson. You hear about what Lindsey Graham say. You hear about what this Republican say. That's all the Bernie channels now. It's just Republican reaction channels. But RBN, we was here from day one calling out the professional managerial class. We made a lot of enemies doing it. But now we are in a new politics. In my last statement, I know I went really long. I apologize for that, CJ. But in my last statement on this, we're in a post, like, left-right game. You know what I mean? Where people say it's left-right, us versus them. You know what I mean? People are so confused right now on politics when they're like these alliances being made with people who against the Ukraine war. People who realize they're not really capitalist. They would never say it, but they're not really capitalist. They actually hate the mode of production and the centralized power that comes with capitalism. So we have a temporary alliance. Like we are the leftists who oppose mandates. We are the left who oppose the Ukraine war. And then there are people who oppose the Ukraine war, more libertarian, more on the right, people who are principled on the right who call out the Israel war. We are fighting the establishment. While everyone who used to be considered on the left, like did the easy to understand left to right dynamic. The former left, you splintered to where we are at, or you became a Democrat. And then you have the right who either splintered into we questioning the Ukraine war and the rhinos and the Republican establishment.
Never Trumpers.
Are you just going along with the establishment? Like the politics from 2016 is completely different, and it's never going to be the same again, especially after October 7th. From now on, and this is my prediction, from now on, it's going to be Zionists or anti-Zionists. And I'm going to cover this more in detail tomorrow. I'll pass to you, CJ, because when you see them restricting free speech rights, when you see the right openly team up with the Nancy Pelosi's, we have Bernie Sanders that called out AIPAC as a right-wing organization, but then he locks arms with Lindsey Graham on the Israel issue. There's a new politics, and there are people who still don't understand that. They still talk about politics as it's 2015. Nigga, we are in a brand new shit right now where progressives are teaming up with neocons, where fucking left-wing Marxists are teaming up with libertarians or some things, and then we find the other things. Like, people still don't really understand how much shit had changed just over the last few years. But that's my last time to say. I went long, but go ahead, CJ, I'll pass to you.
Well, the Alex Jones segment is right after this. My final words is I'm just gonna read a tweet. I think kind of sums up because you're talking about Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders is the epitome, is the icon of a lesser of two evil when it comes from a left perspective. He is the face that pushes lesser of two evil as far as the biggest face in the left. And this is what I tweeted out yesterday. Is about to hit 1,000 likes. So I thought it's fitting. And this is what I had to say. And let me put up this banner too, because it goes with this final part, and that's the lesser of two evils. In this tweet, I say decades of voting for the lesser of two evils will climax in 2024 with a choice between ending democracy with Donald Trump or genocide or supporting genocide with Joe Biden. So we either can end democracy or choose genocide. Over the social democrats could never adequately address the fact that voting for a lesser of two evils would inevitably result in a worse choice each time.
Yes.
What's worse than a choice between genocide and quote unquote ending democracy? I don't know what's worse, but we will find out what's worse in 2028 if we don't dump the lesser of two evils of this lesser of two evil nonsense in 2024. And just think about it, guys. Our lesser of two evil choice is literally supporting genocide with Joe Biden or quote unquote ending democracy. Now, I'm using quote unquote because this is what they say. I don't believe that myself, but quote unquote ending democracy. You think in 2028 is going to go backwards? Like, oh, we're going back to normal now? No. All that's going to happen is just going to get worse. And that's what I'm saying. We need to stop this shit because then the choice is going to be either oxygen or water. That's where we're going to get to. Either one of them is dead.
Are you guys mentally prepared to see Bernie Sanders, AOC, and all the progressive names campaign for Pete Buttigieg in 2028? Because know that's where the lesser two evil logic leaves us. We are in a situation right now because of lesser two evil. That's why I told Vosh and their people, like, if you vote for a lesser two evil, that will only enable the Democratic Party to shift to the right. And Vosh and the Social Democrats lesser two evil themselves into a genocide. The standards became so low, you have a genocide. And now, last time I was saying, I'll pass to Rome, and I'll pass to CJ for the last segment. The saving democracy thing is like so desperate. It shows that Democrats are panicking because, as you guys see, with foreign policy issue, even on the border, despite what Republicans lie about, Biden has been tougher on the border than Trump. Factually, he's been tougher on the border than Trump, but they pretend he's not. So Democrats and Republicans agree on the border. They agree on policing. They agree on economics, on trickle-down economics. They agree on Israel. They agree on Ukraine. So what do they have to do to separate themselves? Republicans, well, they want in democracy. What does that mean? What does that mean? So you're the party where 80% of your own constituents wants a ceasefire. Independents want a ceasefire. Your party and independents want Medicare for all. Your party wants all this progressive policy, but they don't get it. That is not a democracy. We live in a capitalist dictatorship where the donors and people who control capital, they are allowed to flex their political opinions, and they have political control of this country. Romy, last thoughts on Pastor CJ?
I just want to, rub it in all these motherfuckers' faces, man. Because I love being right. One thing I do love is talking. And the next thing I love doing is being right about something, especially if I'm talking a lot about something. So, it's just I told you so moment right now, and get your shit together because you ain't gonna have too many. You Americans, y'all so privileged that y'all think that y'all got a long time to get this shit together. You don't. And just because bombs isn't dropping on our head doesn't mean there isn't a war against us. We are still in a class war right here, right now. And if you don't get your shit together, then they will for you. Trust me.